Hi, John. You
Hello.
don't hear me. Do you not hear me?
How are you?
Good. Do you hear me?
It's there's like some lag going on.
Huh. Why is that? Do you think?
Uh-oh.
Is it because you're watching the stream too many times?
I don't know.
Um,
I don't
that happened to me
it
once.
could be.
Actually, I do remember that.
Oh,
I
I think
remember
you're
that it was
right.
because I had the
On
audio up on
Bluetooth
the
off.
on YouTube, and then I was like, "Oh wait, I didn't even realize I had the YouTube open." Professionals.
Okay. Okay, I think I can hear you now. Here's what happened.
Tell me about it.
My AirPods were connected to my laptop, but then my iPad decided to steal my AirPods over to them. So I was seeing you in StreamYard, but hearing you on my iPad.
Got it. Oh, that sucks. That's
Maybe I
super
just
annoying.
shouldn't do that. Yeah.
I mean, you do you. I think it's a testament to just Apple products being garbage. Let's be real. That's what this is about.
Hey, how are you? How was your life?
No, let's complain more about Apple. You're not gonna bite
1:44.
on that?
Nah,
No, you don't care.
I don't care about that.
You know what? I'm good. Relatively. Um,
What's a
let's
laundry
see.
canary? Like, are you like the canary in the laundry coal mine?
No, I am absolutely yes.
Hmm.
My actually, that's a term that our friend Jackie gave me today.
Oh, okay.
So I work in the laundry room. That's where I am. And our
That's not the joke.
that's it. Is that hilarious? Is that not hilarious?
No.
I don't know. No, our dryer, which is about 2 or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
This basement is 2 or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Our dryer started throwing error codes. The D80 error code, which I looked it up, means that there's some sort of blockage in the vent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought maybe because we got like 14 inches of snow last Friday, I thought, oh, maybe the vent is actually blocked by snow. It turns out it's not.
It's not that.
I think I just need to clean the vent out,
Okay.
which I haven't done since we got our new basement.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized is now more complicated because previously our basement was unfinished, and when
Mm-hmm.
I needed to clean out the vent, I just threw away the vent and replaced it with a new one,
Yeah. You were able
because
to access
that's
it to do
how
that.
I roll.
Yeah.
Yes, now it's behind a wall,
Right.
so I have to like buy a thing that attaches to my drill it's like a brush that I spin it and it like cleans everything out and then I vacuum it. And I also have to move the dryer out of this like super cool shelving
Mm.
desktop or countertop that they built over the top of the dryer and washer, which I'm hopeful that they built the shelves, then put the washer and dryer in, not put the washer and dryer in, then built the shelves because I don't
You'd
want to
like to be
have
able to
to.
pull them out.
Yes, exactly. But the people that did our basement were fucking stupid.
You didn't really have a good time with those
No,
folks.
it was not a good time. Not a good time. They won design awards, I will say. Like people thought it looked beautiful. It still does look beautiful. The people who did the work were fucking idiots. That's what I'll say about that.
Stuff.
Anyway, I am a laundry canary because when I was telling our friend Jackie about it today, about how this thing started spitting air codes, we were like, oh, good thing like it wasn't actually just like pumping my room full of poisonous gas and
Right.
killing me. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of the canary in this room. And I survived.
Right. If your wife finds you passed out in the laundry room, she'll know it's
Yes,
because of the dryer and that she should escape with the children.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, she's
Maybe
probably
she'll
going to do that
maybe she'll
anyways.
bring you with, maybe not. Who knows?
Who cares?
So we
Just
haven't
get the
had
kids.
a we haven't had an episode I think since before Thanksgiving.
Oh, jeez. You kidding
And
me?
yep.
Oh, yeah. Because we were going to do it in early December and then we had to cancel.
Yep.
My God.
And on Black Friday, Jess and I ordered a new washer and dryer set,
Ooh, fun.
like brand new. And it was based on a recommendation from my brother and sister in law. And so we got them, and they're great. One thing I didn't expect to really like is they're smart. Like they hook up to like a smart home
The
situation.
internet of shit.
Yes. So, as does a TV of mine that I didn't realize. So, I download the Smart Things app and then I start adding Samsung devices to it because it's a Samsung TV and a Samsung washer and dryer. I think Samsung. Anyway, um, so now I get a push notification on my phone when a washer or a dryer load is complete.
That's super nice.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
And if I'm sitting there watching TV, I get a little notification on the TV.
that is sweet.
It's pretty sweet.
Do you also get a notification on your phone if someone turns the TV on or off, or like turns on a channel that you don't want them to turn on?
No, I haven't looked into configuring the TV. I'm kind of like I don't need to know that kind of information.
Sure. I mean, it'd just be kind of fun to like to yell upstairs like, "Jack, what are you watching?"
Right.
When you see something happen.
But the thing is, like like many TVs, you're really just using it as a monitor and you're plugging in
Yeah,
some other streaming
plugging something
device.
in. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
anyway.
Yeah, it irritates me to no end that TVs are smart. Like, I haven't had to buy a TV in a long time, and the last time I bought one, it was well, it probably wasn't before smart TVs, but it was before every TV was a smart TV. And I'm not looking forward to replacing it and having to like opt into that level or that layer of crap.
Yeah, it's bad.
I just don't need it. I put a stick in the back and I'm happy. That's it.
Yes. Monitors, sorry, TVs and monitors should be the same level of smarts. A little bit of information about like what kind of inputs they might be receiving, and like that's it. They shouldn't
Yes.
be able to play anything without an input. Like they should be
Yep.
dumb monitors. Anyway,
Definitely. John, what have you done in the last like 2 months since I last saw you? What have you been doing?
um, I went to Arizona for
Fun.
Thanksgiving. I went to New York for a work trip to meet
Extra fun.
people on my team, and then I went to Disney for Christmas.
That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Which of
I
those
don't
three was your favorite? Yeah, it's unbelievable. I actually don't believe you. I think you were lying to me.
an unbelievable amount of travel. I mean, how do I pick a favorite? I'll say I liked elements of all of them.
Sure.
Um, it was really great to have a little trip by myself to New York, but it was great to be with like the family for Disney and see the kids' face light up about certain things and whatever. How about you? What have you been up to?
I've not been traveling like that.
Hmm.
I've been doing maybe local travel, which isn't that much fun. Yeah, I don't know. Seeing family, hiding inside. I imagine it's even colder by you than it is by me because it always
So
is
cool.
5, 10
We
degrees.
haven't gotten all the snow that you've gotten though.
Yeah, we got like over a foot on Friday, but I was actually out of town, so I didn't have to
Oh,
shovel any of it, which I
nice.
actually feel really bad about.
Did you watch football this
My
weekend? Did you see that the Bills stadium uh,
Yeah,
had 100 feet of snow inside of it?
yeah, and then I saw again from our friend Jackie that they're gonna get a storm yesterday, the day before that was like 4 feet of snow more.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Sometimes she'll hop on Slack and she'll just be like, like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna disconnect for a little bit. I got to go do a shovel break, and she just like goes and shovels for a while. I'm like,
I feel like you would have to do that all day, the entire day, if it was 4 feet of snow. I don't know what you would do with that.
where are you gonna put it all? Hey, did you know that a guy in Minnesota got arrested for using a flamethrower on the snow in his driveway? See, I feel like you could not do
What
that
was the crime?
in the Buffalo area. Well, I mean, he said something like, I just didn't know what else to do with all this goddamn snow. Again, we haven't even had that much, but I feel like, you know, you get 4 feet of snow, you should be able to use whatever instrument
Oh
you'd
yeah,
like to get rid
yeah,
of it.
burn it to the ground for sure. Yeah, I got nothing to add.
Should we work on programming computers?
Oh, we can do that. I think we're gonna talk more than program computers today.
Oh, okay.
I think we're gonna have a fun time actually remembering what the hell we were doing because it has been so long.
Yeah.
Let's see, John.
Do you have an agenda? You usually
I
do.
I usually do, and I think that I do. So I'm gonna find this share screen button. Share screen, entire screen, screen two. All right, you probably see something seven on the screen.
Heck yeah, I do.
Okay, here's the agenda. It's full of my notes. That's kind of the main thing. This episode
What
is
they get
called
for
"What Even
Christmas?
Is a Sprite?" What were you laughing at?
What they get for Christmas?
Oh yeah, yeah. What did you get for Christmas?
Well, so we like did Disney for Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good Christmas gift.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
was it cool?
mm,
My memory of Disney vacations. It's been a while since I have done one,
mhm.
but my kids are a little bit older than yours. My memory of a Disney vacation is it is actually as magical as they say it is. That you don't have to sweat anything. Like it's just like you get up, you take a bus to wherever you're going, you walk around a bunch. Sometimes you wait in line, and that can be sucky. But for the most part, it's just like there's no problems. There's nothing like you have to worry about. Was it like that for you? Was it enjoyable at all?
No,
It
no,
wasn't
I
like
would
that at
not
all.
describe it anywhere near like that.
Wow,
Um,
what happened? What'd you do wrong?
yeah, I don't know what you did right, but like we had 12 people with conflicting
Oh, that's a lot of people. That's what you
abilities.
did wrong.
Yeah, with conflicting abilities, conflicting interests. Um, yeah, organizing all that was a lot.
Yeah.
We had someone that needed like a wheelchair slash scooter.
Okay.
Um, we tried to figure out how to eat meals together at the same time.
Yeah, I mean that sucks.
Um,
Did you have people on very different schedules, like 5 o'clock dinner eaters versus eight
mm,
o'clock dinner eaters?
I don't know about that as much as yeah, it was just really hard to get everybody moving in a direction, even if we were going to
Yeah.
like split up and go like two directions.
Yeah.
Arriving at that decision could take 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
Man, I know that feeling. That feeling's awful. My family is like that.
mhm.
My wife's family less, and that's who we've been to Disney with is my wife's family. I think if my family were to do it, yeah, it's a lot of like, I don't care what we eat. Do you care? I don't care. Um, I don't know. Like, let's get whatever. And then you pick something and you're like, no, I don't like
I don't
that.
want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
that makes sense.
But I will say, so I'm not typically like a roller coaster kind of person, but Jack was interested. And so I went because I'm going to, go with him. And I actually really enjoyed the roller coasters. Um, we went on, so we went to Epcot first, and we went on like the very first roller coaster was Guardians of the Galaxy, and it
Mhm.
was like pretty intense. Like my father-in-law got off and was like, I thought he was gonna vom, and there were like um, garbage cans along the sides. Like there was definitely some collecting of vom. Anyway, and Jack was just like,
Like
bro,
intentionally placed there for people to puke into.
hard to imagine that there weren't six garbage cans in that area because sometimes folks got um,
Huh.
nauseous. But
Yuck.
whatever. And like he there was one this Yeti ride that he really liked. He like did twice in a row. Um, so that part was really fun. There's a ride at Magic Kingdom based on Tron, the movie.
Yes, you were
And
telling me
it's
about this.
super fast and super fun, and I love
Cool.
that a lot.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like it. I stopped sharing because
what
you
could you
we
get
were
for
talking.
Christmas?
I mean, I got
Socks.
stuff.
A
I
tie?
did get socks actually. My daughter made me socks that said number one
Thank you.
dad and had pictures of all of us on them. It was great.
Like a crochet situation?
No, like a Instaprint. Is that the name of a
I
thing
see.
that you can do? I don't know. Like
Uh,
you, some project that you upload these photos to, and then it prints socks that have all these photos on. They're not the highest quality socks. Like I think I'll probably get to wear them about 10 times, and then they'll have holes in them.
got it.
But they're very cute. I like them. No, probably the most significant thing that I got, gift that I got for Christmas was a cooler, which I have been buying the same like igloo cooler every 3 or 4 years for the last like 15 years because it just breaks. Like the lid just breaks off of it, and that like the what do you call it?
The hinge.
The hinges just bust, and then like the latch busts, and it's like, when it's new it's great and it's like the perfect fit for packing the car. But then 3 years in it's just like this fucking piece of shit. I swear to God I'm gonna strangle it. So
But this
this
time you
year
got
I
a
asked
fancier
for,
one.
it's a little bit fancier. It's like a Walmart version of a Yeti basically. So
Got it.
it's supposed to stay cold really long. Don't really care, but the hinges seem like they're better quality, which is what I'm most excited about.
So you upgraded, but you still got a Walmart brand.
Yeah, man, a Yeti's like $400 or something. Why am I going to
Yeah,
spend 400 bucks on a cooler?
I just happened to look at the price of those, and they are
Oh, what is it?
insane.
Is it am I accurate on that?
Well, the one I was looking at would hold a 6 pack or maybe even less. It was a real small one. And
Yeah.
even then, that was like $50 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean you like stitch 8 of those together and that's 400 bucks. That's just what the big one is. It's just 8 of them duct taped together.
Stitched together.
All right, I'm going to share my screen again, John.
Okay.
Unless you have anything else to add.
Now, let's do it.
20 minutes into the stream. I mean, we knew it'd be like this, right?
Everyone knew that.
Everyone knew that. All of our fans. Okay. Orient ourselves. Recap of where we left off in November. Where did we leave off? Let's see. So, John, this is what
So
is
now I
on
need you
main.
to make yours bigger.
I know. I'm gonna do that, but my microphone is in the way, so I have to like get way out of the way to see which key I'm hitting. How's that? Is that any better? Maybe a little bigger?
Maybe a little bigger.
One bigger?
There we go.
Is that word butts? Is that big enough for you?
It's pretty good.
You want bigger butts?
No,
All right.
it's pretty good.
So John, this is actually what's on main. This isn't what we did the last time.
Okay.
And I'll show you what we did the last time. I stashed all of it. But I am gonna just quick run this, run the app in the Playdate
I
Simulator.
didn't push.
No, you pushed.
Okay.
If you remember from last time, I did a crap ton of talking, and basically just talked us in circles and made it really boring. So this is our, this is our app from the two streams ago, when we were displaying a QR code and basically crashing our app because we kept rendering the QR code over and over and over, and the rendering of a QR code, not the rendering so much as I think the generation of the QR code. I'm not exactly sure, but one of those two things is a little bit intensive, and what we decided the last time was, what we investigated the last time was, how can we make this thing not re-render over and over and over and over and over. So I'm going to, well, actually, I don't know that I am going to, I'm going to unstash. Let's start there. If I can figure out what's going on with my terminal. I'm going to pull down the stash. Sorry, unstash is an alias that I have that I know everybody else doesn't have. It's just because whatever the get stash command is to pull things down or to like apply a stash. I never remember what it is. Oh, it won't even unstash.
Shouldn't you do like a git checkout dot?
Is that a discard? I don't know.
What's this? What's
I
this
don't know that
square brackets $sign? What does that mean?
square brackets $sign. Oh, this?
Yeah.
I actually have no idea. That's a lot of symbols. I think that this means I am golden on main. I have no changes on main. I think that this means I have changes that I haven't committed with a question mark. I don't know what equals $sign plus means. Probably additions.
Who set this up?
I don't know, man. It's like it's from, is it Starship? Is that what this tool is called?
We're
It's
using
like
somebody else's stuff. Got it.
yeah, I don't know. I don't care about it. Like this is nice. I like knowing what branch I'm on. It's red when I have changes, I think. Well, actually, that's not true. This was red and I didn't have changes. I don't know.
Someone's yelling
Don't
at their computer right now. Their screen.
don't don't judge me.
Okay.
Um,
Can I see a
okay,
git
so
status? Or is it that
I
one
was
just
able to I was able to pull down. So we have a bunch of conflicts now, but we can at least like see what the things were that we did the last time. Which, if you remember, we were like current change. No, we don't want that. Actually, maybe I can just accept incoming change every time. Accept incoming change. Let's try that. Let's try that and see what happens. And then let's rerun it. Yeah, so what we did the last time was, I'll make this a little bit bigger using the 2x display. What we had done the last time was basically just tried to figure out a way. Oh, so if you notice, this isn't orange anymore. And that's because it's not re-rendering, is what we're seeing here.
right?
And so we had kind of explored a couple of ways to make things not re-render, including using the sprite with text function that basically creates a sprite that is text based, and then you put it in a place and add it to the screen, and then it doesn't re-render after you draw it once. So that's where we had left off in terms of the code. In terms of the conversation, where we had left off was John said, "What are you talking about, you idiot? That is not a sprite. I understand a sprite to be a sprite sheet of images that like you move around in a different part of or you like set the sprite to show a particular image of the set of images, and that's how you get a guy that's like moving around on the screen." Did I capture that?
Yeah, you summarized my information well. Thank you.
So John, that's where we left off.
So I'm a little confused because my local says cranks and
Uh-oh.
butts. It has nothing to do with something two or whatever you have. So I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
means that you have changes that you never pushed. Is that correct?
Yeah, we did this all. I did this all on mine the last time, and like I didn't. It's a regression, I think, from what we actually have in terms of the QR code.
Okay.
So I never pushed it up. I can
Yeah.
push it up, but if I were going to push it up, I'd push it up in a branch.
Yeah.
If you would prefer that. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, let's do that. Just so we
Okay.
have it.
Okay, so what do you want to name
Is
the
there like
branch?
spike on, I don't know, something?
Spike. Text-based sprites.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to add everything. And we'll name this commit. This is what we did on the stream in December 2023.
November. That would be November
Shoot.
2023.
You're right. November 2023.
Wow. The way you jumped that to rename
What's
it
that?
from December to November was very impressive to me. I would have just backed out the whole word and typed it again.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I did something good today.
Huh.
Cool. And then, do you want me to
Push?
Do you care? Let's not. Let's just push.
Boy.
Whew. Oh, denied. I do not have access to your thing.
What?
I can, I probably don't, no, I only have yours to find. I can create, well, I can fork it if you want.
No, just wait a
Or
second.
you can give me the access that I deserve.
One sec. And your name is P.
Some say P. Poopowitz.
All right, you have been added to Crank Champs.
All right, I'm going to GPO again, which stands for Git Push Origin.
No, dude, you got to accept that.
Oh, I got to go do things.
Okay. maybe go to your email. It's connected to GitHub, or maybe just go to GitHub.
Yeah, let's see what's in GitHub. Not going to do this on the stream. Invitation, accept invitation. Oops. Okay, I have accepted the invitation. Now let's try to GPO get push origin. Okay, that pushed it up in a branch named Spike peepup with Spike text-based sprites. So that's there.
Yep.
Let's go back to main. GCO get checkout. And yeah, I mean, that's where we were. So I think we're, in terms of the code, in terms of like the talking, where we were was, I think that you were unconvinced that using a sprite to emit this QR code was well, even the correct use of a sprite, or even was it a sprite? Am I just using the wrong words? Right.
Yeah, I was just like confused.
Fair enough. Okay. So since we met, I have done some research and I have lots of notes about it. Did you do any research?
No. The one thing I did was watch the video that you sent me today.
Okay. Well, I found another video that's also good. But again, we can't watch it on the stream, I don't think, because I think we'll get shut down for playing a YouTube video on our stream. I don't really know how this stuff works. Stealing content.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to kind of try to summarize my research by saying I think we're both right. I think the way that you were thinking of a sprite, that it is the images that shift and get displayed on the screen depending on like the state of a thing, is an accurate way to describe a sprite. I also think the way that I was describing it is the way that some other people describe a sprite, which is like it's the entity and the object that is on the screen that has images associated with it, which you that has the images associated with it, but also has the state associated with it. And then also on top of that, is it possible that I was overcomplicating things? Because I was thinking about not necessarily drawing this QR code this one time from the menu. Absolutely. And instead I was thinking about the future, where when we're trying to draw other things, we might want to handle it as a sprite, regardless of what it is that it's drawing. So there, I like have lots of links that we can look at. I don't know. Is it interesting to look through some of the highlights, do you think, or not so much?
I think ultimately what I've come to is drawing with sprites is a pretty well sanctioned way for you to engineer up a Playdate app. And so we should do that. And
Okay.
Whether it's potentially overkill for the state of crank champs today, I don't think that really bothers me too much, because I want to learn more about some of these techniques that I saw in that video, including, there was like ways that he was showing to, he almost had like some procedural code where he was like, you call it some set thing, and then you like do some drawing and you like unset the thing, and like
Totally.
yeah, I'm definitely interested in, and like he was like subclassing and some of that stuff. I'm interested to know more about that. So I think I'm like convinced, and I'm what I'm kind of coming to is that this is like an overloaded word sprite, and it can mean a few different things that are all kind of in the same area, and so that just kind of makes my brain a little confused. But I don't think there's I don't think there's much to be gained from like debating whether we should or shouldn't. I just am interested in learning more about the technique, so let's try it.
Sure. Okay. I think I do want to try to summarize the video that I sent you, and I just did
Yep.
it by highlighting this. Like
Highlighting.
this is
Yeah.
so summary by highlighting. So I will say the videos that I've been watching by this dude Squid God dev,
Hmm.
Squid God, are
Hmm.
fantastic.
Yeah.
They're like all about developing with a play date, and it's been really really helpful. And this was, I think, one of the first things that I saw when I was researching sprites.
Mm.
And this, I tried to capture basically what he said here. For anything you draw to the screen, sprites are a good option because you can explicitly set the z-index. I don't know that I care too much about that. Performance is improved since the sprite only redraws when the image is changed in some way. That definitely applies to what was going on with us. And then the sprite crew can be self-contained, i.e. object-oriented programming, which I think is something that you are definitely going to be excited about once we get to the place of doing that.
Yeah.
And then one other point was that drawing is done relative to the sprite, not to the screen, which
Yeah.
kind of like jives with my
Yeah.
grasp on how I would want to write code. Like I would want to say move this thing left 10 instead of move it to 190. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep. Totally.
Okay. The only other thing I'll say here is that you and I had talked before the stream about, like, I was like, man, I swear I found some forums that made it seem like there's a lot of confusion about how people talk about these
Mm.
things. Like some people do use sprite to mean just the images, and some say sprite object to be clear that they're using like they mean sprite to represent an entity, and some just mean sprite to represent to mean that entity. And I did find those links that I was looking for, and including another video that is, I think, is super interesting, that talks about like NES development, Nintendo development. But we're not going to do any of that now. This is all in the agenda for the stream.
Well, I like
If
this other
people
quote that
care,
says, "It all depends on how you define a sprite." It's like,
yeah, like that. I mean, that one is. Let's open that one. Like you can see, like people start to get into this. Who cares about most of this stuff?
yeah,
But like, well, it all depends on how you define a sprite. As far as we are concerned, a sprite is a single object in the game world, a character, an item, etc. And any sprite has the ability to be animated or moved. So this is kind of how I was thinking about it. A sprite need not even have an image associated with them.
right. So we were gonna like use a sprite to draw some text, and I was like, "This can't be right," because I was like, this isn't fitting what I know to be true about sprite in the other context I was thinking of." But if
Yeah.
sprite is just like a thing that can be drawn and animated, like, I'm like thinking in the wrong zone.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we need to make up our own word, is what needs to happen.
Sprot.
Sprot?
No, don't do that. It's terrible.
Okay. I mean, if we come up with something good, we can definitely use it. Okay. I think that's all that I want to talk about. I did share that link to the stream, so
Yes.
our zero fans will take a look at that. Um, Beyond that, John, we need to get
Yes.
this QR code displaying only once.
Yeah.
How do you want to do that? Do you want to drive? Do you want me to drive?
Definitely interested in driving.
Okay, I'll defer if I can figure out how to hit the button.
Okay.
Okay, it's all yours.
Screen. Window. Nope. Entire screen. Screen one. Share. Oh,
Hey, by the way, I like that artsy sweatshirt.
thanks. I just got it.
Did you? It's nice. It's like some of the artsy gear swag that I had received while I worked there was like
Yeah.
super garish and bold, and
Ah,
this is really subtle, and I like subtle.
yes. I like it too. Okay. So Hicks. I'm
Hi.
here in Nova, and I've got this pulled up, and I hit play, and it comes to the simulator. It does this. I can like do this. I can hit the menu, and that's what it does.
When you go back into the menu? Sorry.
Sorry.
I remember that we had originally talked about, like, if you go to code, hit the code option. What does that do? Does that do something different than
Oh
if you were
yeah,
to go to
right.
normal? We had. I don't know if we ever actually implemented this, but I know we had talked about it. Oh yeah, so this is
Yeah.
the crank counter mode. So now you can see, like, you can do the Pavlov's cheat.
Right. Okay. Cool. So some sanity that we got somewhere with this thing.
We're 35 minutes in and we've just caught up to where we were in early November.
So how about a quick digression to say changing context is expensive. And if you forget your context for 2 months, it's real expensive. Okay.
Yes.
So the shape of the code that I see here is some imports, some initial setting of some locals, including those ticks, and then our main update loop where we clear and then we do like a rendering if we're in normal mode or a rendering if we're not in normal mode. Including, right. And then here we like get the system menu and we add our couple items. Right. So
Yep.
some of this doesn't feel great to me. Some things jump out right away, which is like, sometimes you see like a knit, like when I was looking at that squid god or
Squid
something,
God.
he
Squid
had
guy.
like an init and then he like called init, but he also had a init function defined. Having this all just hanging out in like the global scope kind of feels weird to me. I don't know if there's something to
Mhm.
that, but I'll just call that out. And then yeah, we have this draw stuff. So yeah, what do you want to start with?
Well, do you want to, is there any refactoring? I feel like you've kind of set yourself up for refactoring some of it. Is that something you want to do? Or does that feel at this point like building the tools rather than writing the blog post and
Yeah, that's a
not
good
doing the thing that
question.
you're actually trying to do?
My first, so when I ran the simulator the first time, the first thing that stuck out was like, why would I want to start with showing the QR code? When I run
Yeah,
the app, it should be like the game, and then when I press the menu option to see the QR code, then I see that. But my guess is that we had it inverted because we were
you
wanting
probably just wanted to
to
see it.
tinker with
We
the
were
QR
testing.
code first. Yeah.
Yep,
So
that makes sense.
anyway, um, that was one thing that occurred to me that we should change. Uh, yeah, this hanging out in
Do you want to maybe just
global
drop a comment on that?
staging.
Like above that line, just say like we should switch this back once we've got the
Was
QR code stuff
function
rendering.
//
I don't
was
know. No
hash?
idea.
Is it hash dot?
You know what I would do because I use VS Code is I would just hit Command KC and I
Ah,
see that it's dash dash hyphen hyphen.
hyphen hyphen. We should flip this back to true. Um,
So now we're in our update loop, and in that update loop, we always clear the whole screen, which I think we will find that that's a problem.
yeah, there's like a thing that you do where you say like playdate.graphics like update sprites or something like that. Like there's something that I saw Squid God do in his update loop that's
Hmm.
like a part of the contract with drawing sprites. But
Yep.
the reason I did this was because I'd get things layered on top of each other.
Yep. We were
Oh, wait
overlaying.
a minute. You showed me a thing I could do to show the re-rendering. What was that?
I think it's
Highlight
on
screen.
the simulator. Oh yeah, there it is.
So yeah, so like right now, what's happening is we redraw this screen every single time. I believe that's because of this clear. Yeah.
That's interesting. The QR code word is re-rendered. Oh, because yes, that makes sense. Because line 38.
Yeah. So and then you kind of see what prompted me to do that because this is just
Totally.
becoming like a black square. Okay,
Yep.
but I'll reverse that out. Well, what line were you pointing out?
I had said line 38 was why the word QR code was redrawing every time, because that is happening every single tick,
Right. Okay.
as is the generating QR code on 34.
Right. And I will
So,
also note that I don't think we've ever seen a QR code actually show up here in my simulator as we've been kind of sitting here hanging out today.
yeah,
So there's
yep,
not, so there's already some problem here.
yep.
Um,
John, what do you think about just kind of like, I don't know if it would be pseudocoding, but just kind of like, not necessarily caring too much about the API, the actual API, but like just get an idea of how would you think about doing this in a way that was maybe a little more object oriented and a way that was operating with like this sprite entity, the sprite object, sprobject.
I'm furious. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm into it. I don't know that I have a good place to start.
Yeah.
Like, should we be scooping out this normal mode part? I don't know. Like my first thought was to change how I'm drawing inside
You
of
want to do
here
that
to
part?
use sprites.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that too. So I think what can be helpful with that is the branch that I pushed up.
Okay.
If you want to pull that up somewhere, we can kind of see what the changes were there. Yeah, so here
Okay.
we
So
do have like that init function, like you were saying, that kind of like establishes what the things are on the screen.
I'm having a hard time reading this. I think what I want to do instead is just like view the file.
View the file.
Okay.
It's because there's lots of comments too.
So here's an init function. Okay, so here's a sprite with text.
12 is going to be magic for sure.
This does something so that you can call methods on it.
Some null checking that it was.
I remember seeing this dot add. Okay, so that's
colon
a
add.
init
we have to
function
specify
that's
colon
being
add?
defined. Then inside of okay, and then here's the graphic sprites update. Okay, I'm gonna grab that line and just plop her right in. So I'm gonna replace this.
I think so too.
So what's interesting to me then is the only thing you're doing inside of playdate update is just calling update on the graphic sprite, and then init is only called once, which does this. Huh. I'm not talking. So I guess what's confusing to me is how does it ever change? Like, you know, we're like responding to the cranking or whatever. Let's just get to this point.
I'm wondering, I'm thinking ahead, but I'm wondering if the code that we have now is very much like just observing the current state. So absolute of playdate.get crank ticks. But I wonder if there's an event that we can respond to where we could go say, you know, we might have this like crank counter object with an add method or a subtract method where when that event happens, we call the add method. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, interesting.
You might be thinking too far ahead.
No, okay, so I'm just gonna be a little
be blunt, be brutal.
Yeah, be bold, right? So I think what we're saying is update does that, and like a init gets invoked, and it's like a local function init. I should just read your thing. Oh, it is like that. Okay.
Nice job. I never would have got that right.
And then what? End? Yeah. Okay, then inside of here, it's like Add event handler for cranks changing or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Crank. Multiple ways to determine how the player interacts with the crank control. Querying crank sets directly. Okay.
Crank
callbacks.
callbacks.
So I think this is kind of where you were thinking. If we call init once and then init as a callback, then inside of that callback, we can change how we draw. And if the event happened and we changed how we were drawn, then the sprite update would see whatever has happened to sprites that it's keeping track of and re-render.
I think so.
Does that chain
I
of
think you're
events?
describing it well. I don't know.
So let's try this thing inside of here. And then, yeah, we do need that, but we've already got it, so that's cool. And okay, for playdate cranked, change is the angle change in degrees. Accelerated change is change multiplied by a value that increases as the crank moves faster. Okay. So I think I don't care about accelerated change, and I do care about change. For now, I just want to like maybe print this.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm a little confused about how to use this.
Right. Like,
I guess
what
I
is
thought
the
like I'd
actual
be
callback?
providing a function or something.
Yep.
Oops.
Is the
input handlers. Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
This seems also like what we're talking about.
So there's like a push. Playdate.input handlers.push.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it ends up looking quite a bit like what's happening here.
Yep.
So it's possible that this API is actually kind of a shortcut for this.
Yep.
But maybe I'll get better examples.
That's like the key, is that I would like to see an example of any of this.
Oh my gosh. I've already gone past this part of the docs. Darn.
Is there anything we can do that's smaller than what we're trying to do? Like, can we even not pay attention to the cranks changing? Just like get the sprite hooked up so that it's emitting text properly,
Yeah, sure.
and
So,
then kind of like struggle with this.
yeah, okay. So the thing, like the reason why I was interested in getting to this callback is because I think if we just draw inside of a init, it's just static text. And I wanted
For sure.
And I wanted to leapfrog that into something more dynamic. But
Yeah, definitely.
fair enough. Let's try to walk before we run.
Yeah.
And then we can go back to yours and kind of steal, I suppose, like basically all of this.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I think it was like crank count. And I guess here we are, we're not sure, but maybe there's like a cranks equals 0. And then we say like cranks. Okay, so this is like crank status. What do they do? Do they do, yeah.
I don't know what case
they prefer. I was trying to remember, yeah.
Sprite with text is camel case.
And that's fine. Assert sprite allows us to do that and that. So I think this will run. I think it will just draw crank count 0.
That's my expectation.
And that will
too.
just help us make sure everything is, okay.
Sprite with text is not
Okay.
callable. Is
Oh,
there a
I did. I know I
import
didn't
missing?
pull something in. Yes, you're exactly right. And I think it's this one.
There were 3 actually there. 2 more that are missing. Object, graphics, and sprites. I don't know if they matter. You want to try them one at a time?
Yeah. Although now I'm wondering why timer was here. But that's okay. Build succeeds.
Still not callable.
Okay, so then we go back. Graphics. Did I already have that one?
I don't think so.
Not. PD dialogue.
That was a separate experiment that we were talking about, where I had pulled in a separate file to do some stuff.
Hey, look at that.
Crank out nothing.
Whoa.
That's interesting.
Just curious. What's happening?
No, that's super strange.
Okay, just for the sake of argument, what if I put something there?
Oh yeah, it's cutting it off. You think?
Yeah, like I wondered if it was too wide. Remember there was something
Smart.
that Squid God did where he like set the size of his sprite?
It sounds familiar.
It's like,
So is it sprite with text, line 13, that is setting the size?
see, the thing is, I think it's not doing that. Clearly, I don't know what it is because none of these are.
There's a million get sizes.
Yeah. How can I search these docs? How can I jump to the part of these docs that's like the APIs around sprites? Is that like graphics?
Sprite. Text is below it, too. But I don't know if
Sprite
it's
basics, drawing images on clipping, drawing operations.
Can you Command F on the page?
Yeah, but like, what would I go for?
What was the function call?
I don't remember.
Sprite with text?
True.
Max width is the second argument.
This function that creates a sprite with an image of text. Everyone's the same size image of text, sprite, truncated sprite, newly created sprite with this image sets sprite's dimensions may be smaller than max width and max height. Oh, so it returns a tuple. We're throwing that away. Was it text was truncated?
Yeah.
I'm just curious if I do that and then do you remember how to print something or console something?
I don't.
Print. What is this?
You have a line 19 that I think you need to remove or fix or something.
True. Text was truncated. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're on the right path.
So if you just change that second argument max width to like 120 instead of 100, do we see more characters?
Oh, Jesus. I forgot that we were providing it. Is it optional? No, it's not. Okay. 200.
Crank out 900. Oh yeah, 90 and then the 0.
Yeah. Okay, so we can back up to that. We can throw that away again. Throw that away. Okay. So we did it.
Crank on 0. Yay! So it's static text. It's good. It's a milestone.
So it is a milestone.
Now you want to jump to the part where we can update it based on the crank count changing.
Input handler. Yeah. This one. Oh, yeah, this part. Okay. Well, but I feel like this is really the same thing. For definitions of how each of these functions work, see button callbacks. It's like circular or something.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't actually include the crank count one.
Nor does it really give any like
examples would be like
examples.
key.
Playdate cranked. I'm just gonna wonder if Google can help us here.
I was just thinking the same thing. I saw that too. All right. Okay, that's pulp, which is what we don't want, right?
Oh yeah, this whole thing is pulp. No, that's like docs.
Examples, man.
Don't want to just do other stuff. I want to see more. There's also example apps in the SDK.
Yeah.
Shoot, where is that? So I go to Finder. Oh. It's like, gee. So go to Library, and then it's like, God damn it. Do you remember where this is?
No, I do not.
Developer? No, it's like Apple stuff. How about this? Playdate. Oops. Playdate sample applications.
My collection. I was actually visited this awesome Playdate earlier today.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what the #1 example app is?
What?
It's the Artsy app.
What?
Yeah.
Can't be.
Alphabetically, probably.
Oh. I'm getting really annoyed. Oh, we're already almost at time.
Jeez.
We've done.
Have we gotten anywhere?
Well, what if I just do this? And how do functions work again?
I mean, that's what I don't understand is like what you're still just going to be running that cranked call once.
Oh, and then I get like change and change. And then here I'll just like print change. And then I'll just like try to reference that in here. Can you do that? You can't do that.
Not callable. So there's probably an import. That's like I'm pattern matching now. Every time we've seen is not callable, it's been because we didn't have an import. But it'd be great as if there was an example and then we could see what that import was.
I'm dying.
You frustrated?
Yeah.
I'm frustrated too.
Okay. That's okay. We can stop screen sharing and talk about what's next or
what we accomplished or didn't accomplish.
Wrap this up. Okay, so we convinced ourselves that going down the path of learning more about how you can draw text and images and QR codes and whatever else using the Sprite infrastructure in the Playdate SDK is the right path to go down. We started going down that path. We restructured our code to be like an init function, the update loop, which calls like sprite.update, and then the init function invocation. In there, we drew some static text. We were about to try to start providing a handler to the crank callback function, and that's where we're getting stuck.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. That's a good summary. Do you still feel like you felt half an hour ago like this is the right path?
Yeah, this still feels like the
Yes.
right path
Okay,
to
good.
me.
Good.
Yeah. It's just we're fumbling about a little bit of like some Lua isms that we're not so sure about how to do, and also
Yeah.
really needing some examples to fill in
Yes.
some gaps.
Okay. So as soon as we hang up here, I'm gonna look for examples. I'm not done looking.
Right.
I mean, well, as soon as we hang up here, we're gonna talk more. But as soon as we're done with that, I'm gonna look for examples. And then so the next time we hang out, like
We should be able to move past this.
we gotta be able to get past this. The other thing is we took 3 months off, 2 months off,
Yeah.
2 months off. So there
gotta
was
give
a lot
ourselves
of
some
like
slack.
remembering context.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're great too. So
Thanks.
there's no
great.
doubt.
You're the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Always a pleasure. I love
great.
you too. And I'll see you
I
next
love
time.
you.
Bye.
All right.